What do you think the most like underappreciated part of the signal chain is that most people like? Oh, it's got to be the guitar, or the pickup, or the amp, or something. Like it always seems like it's a cable, but is there something else that tends to be a major issue that people ignore?
Yeah, it's funny, and I think the cable is a huge part of it. I mean, you can go through 10 different cables, and there are 10 different, you know, resistances on all the cables, and they're all going to sound a little bit different. Some will have more low end, some will be brighter, whatever. But once you get past the guitar and the cable, I think the first thing, if you use a pedal board, I think your power supply on your pedal board has a huge effect on your tone. Um, uh, I never like to talk bad about companies. The company is great, but the product, this particular product is not, but it's the one spot power supplies. So if you use those, they come with like a daisy chain or whatever, but just the one spot power supply itself is super noisy. If you are using those or know anybody who's using them, if you take that out of your rig, that white noise that you think is just distortion or gain structure from your amp, it's the power supply. Your rig will instantly become quieter. Having every output to every pedal, the DC power isolated, excuse me, is huge. Yeah, spend money on your power supply more than the pedals. If your power supply is $50 and you got 10 grand on your board, you're obviously doing all those pedals a disservice. But power supply is huge, from the guitar to cable into a power. So you can plug it in any pedal, but if your power source is off, you're gonna ruin your tone. Me personally, I have to upgrade almost everybody's power supplies when I get a gig. Almost everybody.
That's the one thing that people just don't take into consideration is like power is power.
Yeah, does it light up? Cool, let's go. I mean, yeah that is a school of thought, and I've had it too. But I mean, I've worked for those guys that literally we sit in a studio and we record something with every power supply, and we figure out which one has less noise. And there's guys who they care about their tone that much. To me, it's just like, man, go have fun. But like they literally are into it that much that, yeah, the little things like just a little frequency issue on a power supply will ruin their show. So
I suppose it makes sense. I mean, there was that old story about Eric Johnson getting 9-volt batteries that were just the right amount of worn out.
Yep. They're right around like 7.8 volts.
Oh boy.
And there's power supplies. The Voodoo Labs power supply has a sag knob on two of the outputs, and you can emulate that, but you can fix it to the specific voltage you want. So there are power supplies that do that. So the Voodoo Labs just came out with their Pedal Power 3. It's pretty awesome. I really like that. The Strymon pedal power systems that they have are great. If it's over $200, chances are it's reliable and roadworthy and quiet. If you're or like 170 to 250 is kind of probably the professional. I would call it the professional series range. Anything under that, like I have one I picked up on Amazon for like $27 just to try it. It's all plastic. It works, and it's not very noisy, but I don't think it's going to last. But it's still quiet. They have individual isolated transformers for each outlet. But at $27, what are how long is it actually going to last? So that scares me. But I have to try all the new stuff. But yeah, the Strymon and the Voodoo Lab stuff are pretty incredible. It's pretty much all I really use. There's tons of different versions of them. Like there's a high-powered digital one from Voodoo Labs, and then like there's a rack mount one from Custom Audio Electronics MXR. So Bob Bradshaw actually built that one, designed it. So that's another one. MXR, the Custom Audio Electronics power supply. So I have that one in plenty of racks.